there's a constant criticism being leveled against people in the human rights field, that legal activism and the issues of human rights are being used and abused by people in the rebel movement. What do
Okay.
you say to that?
Well, that's a terrific question. I think that goes to the heart of all this debate about, or this discussion, not a debate, on red tagging. I think people need to realize that just because, for instance, you're a communist doesn't mean you're an enemy. It doesn't mean that your rights cease to exist. Keep in mind, communism is not illegal in this country. Being an activist, being leftist is not illegal. Everybody has a right to be a communist. Everybody has a right to be a leftist. The same way that anybody has the right to become a fascist, you know. But the question really boils down to, are these people doing anything illegal against the law? Because the only way you can punish a communist and send him to jail or arrest him is if he is actually actively fighting as a combatant the government. And in many of these arrests, in many of these cases, especially, for instance, the ones that we see today, that's not the case. So there's a huge argument about these arrests being illegal because the evidence are trumped up. And the Philippine authorities, they have almost zero credibility that every time they do this, they will be questioned, that they will be accused of planting evidence, because there have been instances in the past, and even in the drug war, where planting of evidence was common. And again, back to your question, Ed, any Filipino has the right to rebel. Any Filipino has the right to be a communist, has the right to be a fascist, whatever. But your rights cease to exist in a way. You become a criminal or you violate the law when you take up arms, when you actively fight the government as a combatant. And even then, when you go in the mountains and fight the government, the soldiers, in a combat situation, you still enjoy rights the same way that the soldiers enjoy the protection of international humanitarian law. So these are called the rules of war. In a war situation, both sides have human rights, have rights that needed to be protected, and that is important to illustrate, I think.